Ethereum puts in a huge red candle towards the downside, and across YouTube and across the rest of the internet, everyone is panicking. So what does that tell us about the situation? In today's Ethereum update, we're going to look at a chart pattern which has an 8% chance of failing, which could well be the savior of Ethereum. So let's take a look at what's been going on. So what we can see, guys, looking into the charts, obviously the S&P 500 is doing pretty poorly after the Fed announced bringing up interest rates, but ultimately this could potentially still be a good thing for Bitcoin. There's a lot of fear entering the market right now, and actually what we want to look at when we have fear is actually to be more bullish. Now, the reason we want to pay attention to when there's a lot of fear in the market, guys, is actually when there's excitement and stuff all the way at the top. That's what usually causes the blow off top. And actually when we're down at the bottom, we're in the panic, anger, etc. That's actually when we're actually looking to potentially start the cycle again, and then we will potentially build into something else. So look across all the comments on YouTube and stuff, and you can see all this fear entering the market, but actually that's when we want to be excited, guys, because this is when the opportunity is. What we can see right now on the Ethereum chart is this falling wedge pattern, and Bitcoin also has a very similar one. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum have pretty much touched out on the bottom of this wedge at the moment, and they're starting to find support. Now, despite what you're feeling, guys, this is a bullish pattern. And if we jump across to something else, I want to show you that the falling wedge is one of the more reliable trading patterns available. Now, all trading patterns are not 100% accurate. All trading is not 100% accurate, but it's about being right more than you are wrong. Looking into the falling wedge, you can see here we've got an example of a falling wedge breakout. Now it says that the failure rate, where it doesn't break towards the upside, it breaks towards the downside, is only around 8 to 11%, which is extremely low. Now that does mean that it still can break towards the downside, but only in a 1 in 10 situation does that happen. So that should potentially make us feel a little bit more confident about what's happening, bearing in mind that Ethereum and Bitcoin pretty much seem to be at the bottom of their range right now. So what I'm paying attention to, guys, is not only this yellow falling wedge, but this green rising wedge, which ultimately is a bearish pattern. But I think that we are still going to be maintaining support and moving back towards the upside to potentially see a big bounce around this area, and then from there potentially we will see a further fallout, but that is months away. What is happening right now is what is key for us. Every time we've come down and we've touched on these points, we then see these huge rallies towards the upside. We did have a fall off here, we didn't come all the way down, but we still had a push. Every time we can see, guys, that we start to get into this oversold territory, we are starting to see ourselves moving in an upwards trajectory. You can see that we've got some sort of a bullish divergence here, where we've seen the strength of the price increasing, but against that the price is actually decreasing. So what we're seeing is more strength building while the price has been dropping, which ultimately will indicate that we are due to have a turnaround at some point. And in my opinion, I think around $2,800 is around the bottom. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, guys, go away and do your own research, but take a lot of the stuff you're hearing right now with a pinch of salt. It's designed to make you panic. A lot of people are panicking. The news is making people panic. But actually, Bitcoin's already fallen 40% since its all-time high. Ethereum also seen a big fall as well. This could potentially be a great time to be loading up and buying. Personally, I am buying around these levels. If I'm wrong, then I can always buy once it gets to even lower levels if that happens. But remember, only in 8 to 11% of the time will we see it break towards the downside. Ultimately, the majority of the time, these patterns do break towards the upside. We see one happen here, and we pushed all this way up here. We see another one happen here, and we pushed all the way up here. So it happens more often than you might think, and every time this happens, you probably make the same mistake. But I'm pretty confident if I was to go and sell all my Ethereum right now rather than buying, this is when the market turns around and I end up having to pay a higher price. But really, guys, this is actually not when we want to be panicking. Perhaps we should have been panicking up here, because we would have then had the potential to save ourselves from this fall, but we've already fallen a significant amount, and actually selling is probably the more risky thing right now than holding, in my opinion. So guys, to know whether or not we're going to be able to maintain ourselves above this current level, as long as we're staying and closing 4-hour candles above the sort of $2,750 level, then in my mind I'm still looking for this pattern breaking in a bullish trajectory. What I see realistically happening is us perhaps having a bit of a sideways action over the weekend where trading volume is a bit lower, and then once we come into line with the other side of this wedge, then in my opinion, we are going to be starting to push back towards the upside. It's not going to happen overnight. I think we're going to have some quiet consolidation period for the cryptocurrency market. We might see a few wicks firing down below. So be careful if you are using leverage, etc., that you are using stop losses, because you don't want to go and get liquidated. Always be able to come back and trade tomorrow. Ultimately, guys, if this does break in a bullish direction, then we are going to be targeting up towards these levels beyond $5,000. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Ultimately, we're hanging by a thread, and we need to be able to break out of this situation here. Once we get towards this level, then I will bring you another Ethereum update with an Ethereum price prediction, which could be a little bit more healthy than what we're looking at right now. Guys, if you made it this far through the video and you've got some value, please hit the like button. It helps me out more than you know. And if you are new to the channel and you haven't already, smash that subscribe button to be kept up to date with the latest happening in Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.